They say something to each other, then they disappear. I sat there for a second confused. Then back to bed. When I was in school in 3rd grade, I remember one day this girl who I never talked to came up to me and started talking in Spanish. She never spoke Spanish. I know this because she's my GF now. She came up to me and said a few things in Spanish, then just kept repeating "Buenos noches" again and again with this cold, emotionless tone. Thought it was weird. Other kids thought it was too. Only happened once. The strange events in my house continued to happen for 4 years. Then stopped. I moved when I was 15. Now let's fast forward a bit. I am 25. Living with a roommate and I'm single. The girl who I mentioned is now my friend and we hang out a lot. I would go over her house, often, then we realized we liked each other more than friends and started dating. She also claimed her apartment was haunted. Mainly because she claimed the basement light would turn on. Once she was doing laundry and the clothes exploded out of the laundry basket once, for no reason, in front of her. So me and my super skeptic friend said we will look into it. I wish we hadn't. So my friend heads down to the basement alone. Sits there for half an hour. Nothing. Call down to him. "You okay?" "Yeah," he responds. Head down to the basement as well. We stand there. Air feels weird. Feel like being watched, but by what I don't know. On the far side of the basement, there are 2 saloon-style doors. Leads to a windowless root cellar where no natural light enters. Has a very bad vibe to it. GF said everything started to get weird when a friend opened that door. Nothing happens. Head back on up. Our relationship continues to flourish and we're madly in love with each other. All that gooey vomit-inducing bullshit. We begin to share secrets with each other. She claims there is a portal that she enters in dreams and it sometimes show her the future. I tell her I can sense spirits but I really just block it out and don't like it. My mom can too. We're not psychics, just regular people. We start talking about what's in the basement. I can feel it downstairs below us stomping around and angry. I then say maybe we should let it up here. Why? I had no clue. So in my mind I just said it's cool, you can come on up here. Then I didn't feel the presence downstairs anymore. Days go by. The basement light is always found on when we return from being out. She starts to say how she thinks people were killed in this house because she gets pictures in her head. One particular day, both of us are in kitchen, helping each other wash dishes. She made a cup of coffee. I go to grab my coffee. Half of it is all over the stove. Look at GF. Say, how hard did you put that down? She said I just placed it there. It wasn't like that before. I am like, don't know, fuck it. We both walk away from the kitchen to grab our cigarettes. Come back to kitchen. There is a cup rolling on the floor. Think I just dropped it. Then it starts rolling back and forth, speeding up and slowing down. Ignoring laws of conservation. Both watch awestruck. It stops dead in its tracks. Then feel like what's his invisible cold hands wrap around my waist. Like I was being hugged by a small child. Back up and go WTF. Rest of the night was quiet after that. As our relationship progresses, the house starts to take on a very nasty vibe. The air feels heavy, and it feels like there is some type of interference that affects your ability to think with a clear mind. Like a mental static or a fog. We start becoming a little aggressive towards each other and for no reason. We just got together. Then another incident happens. Both laying in bed. She's sleeping. About to just fall asleep. Crash. Something fell on the floor in the bathroom. Next morning she says her makeup and stuff that was kept in a basket on top of the toilet was all over the floor. I chalk it up at not being on a flat surface and dismiss it. More time goes by and weirder things start happening. Shoes would disappear. You'd set your phone down in one room and find it in another. A 3/4 inch thick solid rubber stylus was found dripped in two. Me and my friends tried to reproduce that result and found we weren't strong enough, even with a person pulling on each end, to rip another one in two. And we became increasingly more aggressive towards each other. The basket on the toilet would continue to get shoved off the toilet at random intervals during the day and night. After I had taped it to the toilet because it was becoming annoying. Now, as I said, we became increasingly aggressive towards each other. Then on one particular day, we couldn't stand each other. She was getting ready for work. I was laying in bed watching her. She had this really pissed off look on her face. Me, I felt really depressed for some reason. She leaves and scowls at me as she walks out the door. No goodbye from either person, just left. So I'm sitting there in the bed feeling really depressed. Then I remember the dream I had. And it was about my ex, except she looked very different. She had black eyes, and what looked like black eyeshadow around her eyes. And she was just saying how many people she fucked when she was with me, and just really off-the-wall stuff. I then start thinking about suicide. Say to myself, when I get back to my place I'm gonna hang myself from the ceiling fan in my bedroom. At this point I'm literally crying from this sudden severe depression. Then it dawns on me. It's this house. It's making me feel like this then. I look over at the dresser. Watch in shock. As one of her shirts which was all the way in the drawer. Snake out of drawer as if being pulled by an invisible force. Then fall on the ground. I realize it definitely is this place and I need to leave now. Get up. Throw on clothes. Head towards the front door. Before I walk out. In a defiant voice I say, what are you gonna do? Trash the place? Then leave. Soon as I step out, weight is lifted off my shoulders. Mind feels sharp again. No thoughts of suicide. Go home and play video. Aliens Colonial Marines horrible game. I get home, sit at my PC, start playing some games with my friend. Same person that went down to the basement. Text GF. Say, hey, I don't know what's been going on, but things have been weird between us. She agrees, say we're sorry to each other and make up. Then she gets home, and texts me that the entire back portion of the apartment is trashed, like it was ransacked but nothing was missing. Then on the bathroom floor there was one word in Spanish, written in lotion. I know sounds weird. It said, ayudar, which means help. The way that it was written was odd too. It looked like it was slowly dripped on the floor. But the spacing and letter consistency was damn near perfect. I come over immediately with friend to confirm. Everything she said was true, about it being trashed in message. We decide we want to set up a cameras, so we do. They captured nothing. But my friend's shoes were found in our bedroom. I watched him take them off at the door. Then a day or two passes and my roommate comes home. His job has him leave for a week then come back. So me and roommate go over her house one day. And she's there. My friend claims he can sense spirits too. He goes to the bathroom. He sits on the tub. Sits for a second. Says, yeah, something's here. Says it's a little girl. Bathroom used to be her room. She was killed. Says she moves stuff in the house because we scare her. Made no sense. Says she's sitting next to him at the edge of the tub. I put my hand where he says she is. Air feels very cold. It's summertime, mind you. All of a sudden he says that she said she has to go. And that he's coming and he's scary. Roommate gets up. Said she's gone. We both leave. I don't know why I thought it was safe. I was just that skeptical. So me and my roomie leave. I told her I'd be back later. My roommate wanted to get a new car because he got a letter from a dealership saying they would buy his old one. They knew the exact model and make it was stated in the letter, at high price, and get him a new car. So I said, yeah man, you should probably do that. So we go to the dealership, they hook him up with a new set of wheels. Then he takes me back over to her place. I walk through the door. Hey hun. She's in the kitchen. I get this weird urge to go check on the bathroom. So I do. Walk into the bathroom. and saw what looked like blood on the wall of the tub. Okay, investigation mode. Get closer. No. And it's a message. And it's in Spanish, Latin. It read, "Me llamo Ana, tengo miedo." Translated on my phone. It said, "My name is Anna, be afraid. Realize it's not safe here. Tell GF we got to go. We're going to her friend's house for a bit." Leave the house promptly afterwards. When we got to her friend's house, I explain what's going on. GF is completely silent. They say, "Hey, it's cool, no problem." So we're sitting there. And then all of a sudden my GF demands that we go back to her place and that she's not staying here. She says there is absolutely nothing wrong with that place. And that she pays money to be there and she wants to be around her stuff. I tell her just 40 minutes ago we were running out of there, now you want to go back? And she says yes. I say, you do remember something isn't right with that place? She says she has no clue and everything is fine, we should just go back. I say hell no, not till we figure everything out. And then she said, figure what out? Completely denies even claiming the place was haunted. So I just drop it. And we end up just staying at the friend's house. And as I'm sitting there studying her, something seemed very off about her. Denying that her place is haunted when she was the one that told me about, for starters. Her eyes that were always a bright vibrant blue seemed very pale. Her cheery and positive demeanor had vanished as well and had been replaced with a very malicious facial expression. As I'm sitting there observing her, I hear a little faint voice in my head say, "That's not her, something is wrong." I then, just out of curiosity, try to hold her hand. And as soon my hand touches hers, she rips her hand away from me and scowls at me. I say, "What's wrong?" She says nothing. Continues to say nothing until she falls asleep unusually early. I stay up for a bit because I am wary that she may try to go back home and then who knows what will happen. So I turn on her friend's Wii and start watching some Attack on Titan. I just needed something else to focus on, things were getting stressful. Then I get incredibly sleepy. I'm a horrible sleeper, it takes hours to fall asleep, I never get extremely drowsy. So I shut the Wii and the TV off and start to fall asleep, then wake up. TV and Wii is back on. Turn them both off, put Wii mode on coffee table that was laying on the ground beside me. Go back to sleep. Wake back up. TV and Wii is back on. Shut them both off again. Wake back up. I am being fucking strangled by an invisible force. My head is being driven back into the pillow. Fight to sit up. Stranglehold releases. Was so tired I went back to sleep. Wake up. I am being strangled again by an invisible force. Fight it again until it releases. Again too tired to process what's going on. Fall back asleep. Wake up. GF is walking past me and heading into the kitchen. Has malicious look on her face. I go to get up and see what she's gonna do. As she walks past me I can't move. Feel like my limbs are being held down. And then she nods at me and I just pass out. Wake up the next morning. Help is written on her arm. Lamp switch on coffee table was snapped off at weird angle. Decide it's no longer okay to sleep at night around her. From what she told me, she went outside the night and told me something else was with her.